downtown Saturday battling the images of violence.
Black men particularly, we fill the prison houses at a rate more than any other race. So we have to learn to keep God's laws so that we can unite as a people again and take responsibility for our families and our lives.
It was about changing the mindsets of not just the younger generation to just do the right thing, but more so about reaching everyone.
And I think that was a great show of how we can get out there and express our viewpoints and
Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, double unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully. Welcome to GMS Fast Food, where I'm going to weigh in on this whole march against violence and do my little commentary on what's really going on here. Now, here you had Nate talking about we need to get together with the black community and the black men, and for our lives and for our family, right? Well, that's totally against what the scriptures say, man. He's totally contrary to the scriptures, okay? So we're gonna get a couple scriptures and we're gonna go, we're gonna roll through it, make it quick. All right. So first, I'm gonna start off with, I'm gonna go to Isaiah 51:20. It says, "Thy sons have fainted; they lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in the net. They are full of fury. They are full of the fury of the Lord, and rebuke of thy power." Okay, that's our people, man. Our people are fulfilling scriptures though they don't know it. Okay, we as the hope for the elect, we understand that these things must come to pass. We're never going to get out there and proclaim that we got to build a community up and we have to march on the streets of wherever to bring unity back. That Edomite said, I think this is a positive thing that we're doing. She's referring to the black people. It's a positive thing for so-called black people, because we've always known that our people have been like wild bulls in the net. They've always known that our people have been uncivilized. Okay, so now you got all these Edomites praising, black men who appear to be civilized. Okay, but going out there and marching and protesting, that's something that's gonna come to naught, because you're going against the word of the Lord with that, trying to build the so-called black community back up. Matter of fact, we're gonna go from there. We'll go from there. We go to Zechariah 13:8. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, it shall come to pass in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." Okay, so instead of going out there and telling these people we got to bring the community black men back and go back to the Lord's laws, wait a minute. Why aren't you telling these people this is the hand of the Lord? Why aren't you telling this news lady the Lord said 2/3 of his people are going to be cut off and die? Okay, these things that are happening in these last days are fitting right along with the scriptures are saying. But by going out there marching and proclaiming that you're trying to wake up the black men, listen, the Lord ain't looking to wake up all the black men. The Lord is looking for the hopeful elect, so we can seal them and they can be delivered. Okay? But this whole thing is nothing but a sideshow, man. Smoke and mirrors. You telling all these crackers and everybody else what they want to hear about, following this and doing that, but you ain't telling them the truth. You ain't telling them that the 2/3 of the Lord's people are going to die. You ain't telling them that. Let me go to Ezekiel 9:6. It says, "Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary." Okay, so So the judgment and the destruction is going to begin at the Lord's sanctuary, His people. So to try to position yourself in a manner to make it look like you're trying to save humanity and trying to save the black community, you're going against the scriptures, man. You're going totally against the scriptures. All right. These things are supposed to happen in these here last days. Okay. Let me go like this here. Okay. It says in one weekend in Chicago, 66 people were shot, including 12 who died, police say. Okay? This is CNN. Chicago police announced at a Monday morning news conference that 66 people were shot, 12 of them fatally, between Friday 6 p.m. and Sunday 11:59 p.m. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie T. Johnson said it was no secret that we had an unacceptable violent weekend at the news conference. It says, in 3 hours, beginning at 1:30 a.m. Sunday, records show 30 people were shot, 2 killed, and 10 incidents. In all, over the weekend, there were 33 shooting incidents. Okay, 14 juveniles were shot, and 11 and 13-year-old were killed. Okay, so to sit there and try to go from city to city, so I assume your next stop is going to be Chicago. Okay, you brothers, you guys better strap up your boots then, because you're going to be going every goddamn where, because this is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so you had 66 people shot, 12 dead in one weekend. Let's do a little comparison here. It says 2 more soldiers were killed this week as the Afghanistan war rages on. July 13, 2018, John Holt Ranger. Okay, going on, it says 2 soldiers were killed in Afghanistan this week as the war closed in on its 17th anniversary. 17 years, man. This so-called war, military war, has been going on for 17 years. It says, in total, 4 Americans have died from hostile fire in Afghanistan this year as fightings against the Taliban rages on in many parts of the country. Okay? So in total, 4 Americans died in 1 year. And this is war. Okay? So here in Chicago, 66 was shot, 12 niggas was dead in 1 weekend. You do the math, man. You do the numbers. So there's nothing you can do, man. Nothing you can do to stop this thing. Okay? There's nothing you can do at all. The Lord said, start up my sanctuary. And you best believe prophecy is going to be fulfilled. As this whole, thing of marching and trying to stop the violence. Why would you want to stop the violence, man? Why would you want to stop the violence? The scriptures give you plenty of examples of insurrection of the people, men invading one another. Okay? This is what's supposed to happen, man. Esau don't give a goddamn about you and you marching. Jake don't give a goddamn about you marching. And all you guys who are all about, this is a powerful stance. Hey, you niggas have been seeing this shit since the goddamn 60s, man. They've been marching since the 60s. To no avail. You would have thought from 1960 to 2018, the need for marching would be no more because everything should be fine now. Our people should be fine. But it's never going to happen that way, man. Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? So anything you see on the news, any violence you see in the world, in the country, in the states, the Lord has done this. So you're marching to try to combat and fight the word of the Lord, man. You're supposed to go out there and prophesy how these things were written in the scriptures and they were going to come to pass. That this house of Israel was a rebellious house, stiff-necked, hard-hearted, okay, murderers. See, but you're trying to look good for the masses. You're trying to look good for Esau. That's all you're trying to do. Let me get this Isaiah. Let me get Isaiah 9:16. It says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Okay? This goes right along for i.u.i.c, man. For the leaders of this people. Okay, who's one of those leaders? Nate. He's one of them big time leaders. All other men that are under him. They're all part of that big time, gathering of i.u.i.c. And all those men out there are being caused to err because of their leaders. Gathering all kinds of men up to go march down in Memphis, or wherever the hell it was, to only do what? To be seen of men, to be praised of men. When the Lord is looking down and saying, wait a minute, this is my program, this is what I want to have happen. But you're going to see real soon, showing, a sign of solidarity or a sign of unison. Esau's going to wipe all that shit right out, man. And these black people, they ain't going to care. The more these black people are out of work, the more they're starving for money, the more they're fighting for food, okay, the more they're going to keep killing, man. The more they're going to keep killing. And it's only getting worse that these things are taking place. So you can only assume and come to the conclusion that there's going to be more and more killings, more and more riotings, more and more, as they say, black on black crime. Okay? You had in Chicago, in one weekend, 66 people shot, 12 dead. We have over in Afghanistan, the war in Afghanistan, in 1 year, 4 people died. Esau knows exactly what the fuck he's doing, man. Esau's the one that's flooding these streets with the guns anyway. So you sitting there pointing the finger at the black man, you gotta point the finger at the devil, man, who's pumping the guns into the cities. Alright? So with that, just a quick commentary on the march on violence. Lord willing, I'll see you brothers in the next show. I say shalom.